So guys, today we are back with a video here going over some of the newest information that has been dropped on Twitter via the Destiny 2 Teams account, as well as other developers over at Bungie. And then we're also going to be diving back into the developer live stream real quick to take a look at some additional bits of information and go in depth on some of the larger changes coming with the Edge of Fate. First thing being the 4 expansions that were actually revealed during this reveal stream. Obviously, we had the Edge of Fate and Renegades coming July 15th and December 2nd of this year, but they also confirmed 2 more expansions coming in 2026. Those being the Shattered Cycle coming in the summer of 2026 and the Alchemist dropping in the winter of 2026. No specific dates given for those ones, but we at least have names which we can kind of speculate on going into the future. Alongside this, we also have a little tease about the expansion size for these new style of expansions, obviously because we're used to getting 1 large expansion per year, but we're now going to 2 slightly smaller ones, and they go on to confirm that these expansions will be a little bit bigger than what was released in the Rise of Iron expansion back inside of Destiny 1. So these 2 expansions combined will be more expansion content than they have done in the past. So if you kind of take both the Edge of Fate and Renegades, you'll probably end up combining those 2 expansions, ending up with maybe somewhat close to a final shape style of expansion content. Maybe. That's just a complete guess on my part. But moving on, let's now talk the destination weapons and their origin trait, because I believe that we did get a tease of this. Now, in terms of what weapons can be found on the brand new Kepler destination via the press kit that is available for everyone to go and look at, we do actually have all of the weapons right here. So the image on screen now is showing what I believe to be a pulse rifle, auto rifle, scout rifle, shotgun, hand cannon, and machine gun. And during some of the gameplay elements of the reveal stream, we were able to see that by aiming down sights, you kind of activate the origin trait, which then allows you to shoot out a missile from these guns, which is kind of similar to the Neomuna weapon's origin trait, although you don't have to continuously shoot the weapon to then get this missile to proc. You just aim down sights for a short amount of time, and then your next shot becomes a little homing missile almost, which sounds very, very cool. Alongside this, we can also see potentially some changes there to our overall damage. The numbers that are being shown in terms of damage seem a lot smaller compared to what we're normally used to. We'll go into this a little bit later when we talk about the light level changes that were mentioned, but I'm expecting there to be some kind of number crunch or number simplification of our overall damage as well as light level. But moving on to the next thing, let's go over the world tiers that were shown off or talked about at least during this stream. So world tiers will allow you to take on a higher level of challenge in the destination, that being Kepler, to then get some of the best loot. We do see a tier 5 destination weapon later shown when they talk about the weapon tier changes. So this might be the way that you get these tier 5 destination weapons, by going and completing things within these higher world tiers. And by playing through the lower world tiers will be the way on how you get the higher tiers unlocked. And those higher tiers will allow you to go through the Kepler destination again, but in an entirely different way thanks to the new abilities that you unlock via those different tiers. So there seems to be a lot of care and effort put into this brand new destination, with there being a whole load of secrets in it to go and explore, and you're probably going to be needing to play through this destination quite a lot and able to unlock all of the secrets and all of the unique abilities that are found on this destination. Now, in my previous breakdown video, I did go over the Matter Spark abilities and all the dark matter stuff that's going on. These seem to be like the new kind of abilities that are going on with this destination, similar to what I mentioned, like the grapple points on Neomuna, but way more advanced and not tied to your specific subclass, more tied to just subclass elements in general. Now though, let's go over the portal screen. And it's probably the most divisive thing that I've seen being shown off within this reveal stream. So they mentioned that this is going to be the new kind of main screen for the game, or the new front page even. But the Destiny 2 team Twitter account did actually go on to confirm that the OG Destinations tab still exists, but it's now renamed to the World tab, which we can still see there, which is very, very nice. So if you don't want to be searching through this very simplified screen of activities, don't worry, your whole screen there of all the planets and different activities will still be there during the Edge of Fate. Now though, let's go on to target farming that was shown off very, very briefly. We do get a look at some of the rewards that are tied to certain activities, and it seems that by going in and getting a certain score within this battleground, you are able to get a guaranteed armor drop. Now, if this armor drop is farmable, that would be amazing. I don't know if it's a one-time drop, It might be, but either way, this is going to be a guaranteed way for you to get certain armor pieces. Maybe if you're looking out for some armor set bonuses, that might be a good way to go about getting those, and also weapons as well, because we do see a weapon drop, I believe, a little bit later in the reveal stream from one of these activities. Alongside this, we have a new difficulty option above Grandmaster. I believe it's called like Ultimate or something. But also on the screen, we can see what looks like a simplification of our power level. So instead of you being like 1300 power right now, potentially with the Edge of Fate, you'll go down to maybe 300 or 250 power. As we can see here, the Grandmaster difficulty option is now set at 400 power, with the Ultimate option being 500 power. And we can also see in the top right that the current player power level is 100. So it seems to be a massive number crunch there to kind of just simplify overall power level numbers and stuff like that. Alongside this, we then have stat simplification / rework. So your character stats and what they do and their names are being changed. Now we do have a nice image here which breaks down all of the changes to our stats, starting off with a brand new stat which is simply called weapons. Now going into the stat, you'll be getting increased weapon reload speed and handling, and also increased weapon damage against minor and major combatants. But then you also have an enhanced benefit which you'll gain access to if this stat reaches over 100, which will grant ammo bricks from defeating targets have a chance to contain additional rounds, and you now deal increased damage against bosses and opposing guardians. That's going to be very good for both PvP and PvE, which is great to see there. The next stat being changed is health. This is going to increase the amount of health you gain each time you pick up an orb of power, and also reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming a weapon. And then the enhanced benefit, your shields recharge more quickly and have additional health when facing combatants. Very nice there. Moving on to the next stat, that being class. This is going to reduce your class ability cooldown and increase the amount of class ability energy provided by all sources. And the enhanced benefit, where you will gain an overshield when you use your class ability. Next up, grenade. This is going to reduce your grenade cooldown and increase the amount of energy you get from all sources for your grenade. And the enhanced benefit is going to increase the damage done by your grenades. The super, you gain increased amount of super energy from all sources, and the enhanced benefit is increased damage done via your super. We don't have any numbers on how much of an increase these damages are going to be, but I'm guessing it will just be kind of a flat benefit almost, or maybe small incremental boosts to your overall damage, depending on how high you have your current stats. And then finally for melee, we have reduced your melee cooldown and increases the amount of energy from all sources for your melee. And then also in the enhanced benefit, increased damage done by your melee attacks. So that's what your stats are now going to look like. They have mentioned that the armor sets and stuff that you do have currently in the game will be updated to these new stats and these new abilities. We don't know how these are going to work. Obviously, I think that grenade and melee and super, that's probably going to be your discipline, intellect, and strength. But for class, health, and weapons, class and health I think are going to be resilience and recovery respectively. Weapons though, I don't know how they're going to end up doing that. Maybe your mobility ends up being just 1-for-1 swapped with weapons, or maybe weapons just ends up being a random split between all your armor pieces. Don't know how they're going to work that out, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Moving on from the stats and stuff now, let's go over some of the other changes now coming with the Renegades expansion. They do talk about vault space. Destiny 2 Team's Twitter account did state that vault space is not changing with the Edge of Fate, but we do have additional vault space and quality of life features planned for Renegades later this year, and for us to stay tuned. So if you're wanting more vault space, you're going to have to wait until December for that. And then finally, in terms of Renegade stuff, one of the main concerns that I had for that expansion is, of course, how much they're going to lean into the Star Wars-esque ideas of that expansion. And we have Robbie Stevens here, who's actually on the live stream going on and tweeting that we should be rest assured, Guardians, everything in Renegades is in canon for the Destiny universe, but we're leaning into the aesthetic, tone, and vibe of Star Wars to tell a Destiny story with Destiny characters. So it doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing any Star Wars characters popping in and joining us in this expansion. Just seems that they're taking, like he says, the aesthetic, tone, and vibe of Star Wars to tell a unique Destiny story, which has me now even more excited. And yeah, that's it for today's video, going over the latest news and some other tidbits of information about the next couple of expansions. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe. We're getting so close now to 2,000 subscribers. So if you could help out there, I would very much appreciate it. And with that all said, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one.